All right, ready for another deep dive.
Do it.
This time, it's one of the most talked about superhero movies ever, really. The Dark Knight. You got a whole stack of articles and notes on this one.
Yeah.
Seems like you're trying to figure out, I don't know, what makes it tick, what makes it so special, and if it deserves all the hype.
Right.
Yeah, so directed by Christopher Nolan.
Of course.
Came out back in 2008. Christian Bale as Batman.
Yeah.
And, well, we can't forget about Heath Ledger's Joker.
Definitely not.
So I guess the big question we're tackling is The Dark Knight really the best superhero movie ever made?
The best, huh? Well, let's see. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's dive in. One thing that seems to really set this film apart, at least from the articles you sent me, is that it kind of goes beyond your typical superhero formula.
Right.
It's not just about capes and superpowers.
Right. You know, it blends in crime drama, psychological thriller, all that stuff.
Dark.
Yeah, it gives it a darker, more complex feel than your typical, lighthearted Marvel flick.
Like, it's not just about saving the day and cracking jokes.
Right.
It's got some real depth to it.
Yeah.
The articles you sent me mentioned some serious themes, like terrorism.
Oh, yeah.
Corruption.
Yeah.
What it really means to be a hero. Like, what does that even mean?
Exactly, yeah. It kind of forces you to confront some, some uncomfortable questions about morality, justice.
Okay.
And take, for example, the ferry scene.
Right, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
2 ferries.
Detonator on each one.
With a detonator to blow up the other one.
One full of just ordinary citizens, the other one criminals.
Right, and it cuts right to the core of what the movie's trying to say about these moral dilemmas.
Yeah.
You know, would you be able to make a choice in that situation? And even if you did, would it even matter?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Joker who sets up this whole twisted game.
Right.
He's not interested in easy answers. No, he's not. That's a seriously messed up scenario.
Yeah.
Makes you think about, real life heroes and the choices that they might have to make.
Yeah.
And, speaking of real life,
Yeah.
the way Batman operates in this film, it feels a lot more grounded than most superheroes.
Yeah.
He doesn't have superpowers.
Right.
He's just a guy. Rich guy, but
Well, yeah. A lot of money.
a lot of money. Some cool gadgets. An unwavering sense of justice.
Yeah, it's fascinating how they did that. They took away the fantastical elements. What they're really asking is, what if a superhero existed in our world?
Yeah, what if Batman was real?
What would that be like? What would their struggles be? The toll it would take?
Right.
I mean, it makes Batman's fight feel more relatable, more human.
Even if, we can't all relate to being billionaires.
Yeah, maybe not that part.
Not that part. Okay, but then we got to talk about Heath Ledger. I mean, wow. His Joker really was something else.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just the makeup or the creepy laugh. It was just so unsettling, unpredictable, like he could just snap at any moment.
Yeah.
He really did bring the chaos, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's a specific kind of chaos, right? It's not like Thanos, who, wants to reshape the universe.
Right.
Or Loki, who just wants power.
Yeah.
The Joker, he's not after wealth.
Yeah.
He's not after control. He just wants to watch the world burn.
Exactly.
He's testing the limits of Gotham's morality.
Yeah, and in a way, he's testing you too, He wants to see if even the most upstanding citizens, when they're pushed to the brink, will break.
So he's not just a villain. He's almost this force of nature.
Yeah, I mean, and he's specifically going after Batman to try and prove that even the most dedicated hero can be corrupted.
It's a battle of ideologies, a clash of philosophies.
Right.
That's what makes this movie so compelling, right? It's not just good versus evil.
Right.
It's about the gray areas in between.
Exactly. It's not just a physical fight. We're watching a battle for Gotham's soul. The Joker, he's embodying the chaos that's lurking right beneath the surface of society. Batman, with his unwavering moral code, is trying to hold it all back. And it really kind of speaks to our own anxieties about the world we live in,
Yeah.
Is order really just a thin veneer covering something much darker?
Yeah. That's a heavy thought.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what makes it so thought-provoking.
Right.
And it's not just the Joker either. Batman is grappling with his own inner darkness.
Yeah.
We see the toll that being Batman takes on him, physically, emotionally.
Yeah.
He's not just a symbol. He's a man struggling with the weight of his choices.
He is. And unlike Superman, who's just this, good guy through and through, Batman's always wrestling with his demons.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not even always sure he's doing the right thing.
Right.
It makes him more complex.
Relatable.
Yeah.
And it shows us that, being a hero, it's not about being perfect.
No.
It's about making tough choices.
Yeah, making those choices, even when they come at a cost.
Yeah. That internal conflict, that duality.
Right.
That's what makes Batman such a fascinating character.
Yeah.
It's not just Batman versus the Joker.
Right.
It's Bruce Wayne versus Batman,
Yeah.
That struggle between who he is and what he has to do. What does it truly cost to be a hero?
That's a question that really kind of hangs over the whole film, and not just Batman. The supporting characters, Harvey Dent,
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon,
Alfred.
they all play a crucial role in exploring this. They represent different sides of the struggle, different ways of confronting the darkness.
Yeah. And Harvey Dent, he starts off as this symbol of hope, this incorruptible force for good. And then he just falls so hard, so fast.
It's tragic, really.
It shows how even the best intentions can be twisted and corrupted.
Right. By the very forces they're trying to fight. His descent into darkness.
Yeah.
It's really powerful.
It's like a cautionary tale.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you wonder, is anyone truly immune to the darkness,
Yeah. And then you've got Gordon and Alfred, right? They're like the moral compass of the film.
Yeah, the voices of reason amidst all the chaos.
Yeah, they're grounding all the film's philosophical debates in a really human way.
Right.
Reminding us that even in the darkest times, there are still people who believe in doing the right thing.
That's important.
Yeah. Okay, but complexities of good and evil. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
The symbolism. You've got Batman, shrouded in black, representing order, trying to control this city that's spiraling into chaos.
Right.
And then you have the Joker with his garish makeup, his maniacal laughter. He embodies that chaos, doesn't he?
It's a really brilliant way of visually representing the central conflict of the film.
Okay.
Order versus chaos. Batman and the Joker, they're not just characters, they're symbols.
Why?
Of these larger forces. Forces that are at play within us and the world around us.
Yeah, the film really makes you ask, do we need order to suppress chaos? Or is chaos just an inherent part of who we are as humans? Are heroes and villains just two sides of the same coin?
I mean, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
It really is what makes The Dark Knight so much more than just a superhero flick, right?
Yeah. It challenges you on a philosophical level.
Right.
Forces you to confront your beliefs about right and wrong, good and evil.
Right.
And through these really intense moments.
It's like the ferry scene.
The ferry scene.
A perfect example. The Dark Knight pushes you. It makes you examine your own moral compass. Throws you into this impossible situation, and it asks, what would you do?
Yeah.
Would you sacrifice one group to save the other?
Would you take a life to save many?
There's no easy answers.
The film doesn't try to give you any.
No, it doesn't. It throws you into the deep end, and it's like, all right, figure it out.
Yeah. And then, it even touches on issues that we deal with today, like surveillance, privacy. With Batman's sonar system, how much are we willing to give up for security? Is it ever okay to compromise individual freedoms for the greater good? It all feels very relevant even today.
Well, I mean, it's set in this fictional world, but it manages to deal with issues that are incredibly relevant to our own lives,
Yeah.
It makes you think about the choices we make, the compromises, the consequences.
Yeah. It's amazing how a superhero movie can spark those kinds of conversations.
It is.
But let's shift gears for a second.
Okay.
Talk about the movie,
Yeah.
the actual film.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan.
Right.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
The way he creates these scenes, so tense.
Yeah.
Visually stunning. Think about that truck flip,
Yeah.
All practical effects, no CGI.
I know.
And Wally Feaster, the cinematography, the way he uses light, shadow, it gives the film this gritty, realistic feel.
Yeah. It really sets it apart from other superhero movies.
Totally.
Nolan's commitment to practical effects really grounds the film,
Oh, yeah.
in a way that CGI just often can't.
It's true.
You feel the weight of the action, the impact of those explosions.
Oh, for sure.
It's visceral. And Pfister, with his cinematography, adds to that sense of realism.
Yeah.
Creates this almost noir-ish atmosphere that really fits that dark tone.
And the music.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
I mean, especially the Joker's theme.
That theme So unsettling, perfectly in tune with the overall mood, adds this extra layer of tension, unease. It gets under your skin, man.
It's a master class.
Really.
In creating atmosphere.
Yeah, it's not your typical, bombastic superhero score.
No.
It's minimalist, unsettling.
Right, and it reflects that chaotic energy that the Joker has.
Oh, yeah.
It becomes another character almost, driving the tension.
Totally. Okay, so we've established that The Dark Knight's a pretty amazing film.
It is.
But how does it compare to the other big ones?
Right.
The superhero giants.
I mean, there's a whole universe of them out there. Each one with their own, style, their own approach.
How does it hold up?
That's the question. That's the question we're going to be looking at next.
All right, don't delve into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
With all their interconnected storytelling, the lighter tone.
Right.
We'll look at Logan, which, The Dark Knight,
yeah.
explores the vulnerability of being a superhero.
Okay.
And, of course, you can't ignore the big one,
right?
Avengers. Endgame.
The big one.
Broke all the records.
Yeah.
Global phenomenon.
How does The Dark Knight measure up to these titans?
That's what we'll find out in the next part of our deep dive.
Get ready to compare and contrast these superhero giants. See how The Dark Knight's legacy stacks up?
Should be fun. I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back soon with more.
So, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, the MCU.
It's a fascinating thing, isn't it?
It is.
It's built on this idea of interconnected storytelling.
Yeah.
Weaving together all these characters and storylines.
Right.
Across this vast, sprawling narrative.
It's massive.
It really is.
And it's a formula that's been incredibly successful.
Huge. I mean, capturing the imaginations of audiences worldwide.
Yeah, for sure. It's a phenomenon.
But the tone is generally lighter.
Yeah.
Than The Dark Knight.
Much lighter.
More playful.
Yeah, you got your witty banter, the colorful costumes,
right.
Action sequences that sometimes feel like they belong in a theme park ride.
Yeah. It's a very different approach.
It is a different flavor of superhero storytelling.
Totally different.
The MCU excels at creating the sense of fun and adventure.
Yeah.
Drawing you into this world where heroes team up.
Right.
They crack jokes. And ultimately they save the day.
Of course.
It's tapping into that classic comic book energy.
Right.
The kind that makes you feel like a kid again.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
But The Dark Knight,
yeah,
that's a standalone story.
Right.
It's darker, more introspective,
and
it delves into the psychological depths of its characters in a way that the MCU, with its massive ensemble casts, just doesn't have the space to do.
It's like comparing apples and oranges.
In a way, yeah.
Like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Right.
To a gritty crime drama.
Yeah, they can both be entertaining.
For sure.
But they serve different purposes.
Totally.
And that's not a criticism of either approach.
No.
It's just a recognition of their distinct strengths.
Yeah.
The MCU excels at creating these massive interconnected narratives that keep you coming back for more.
Right.
It's like a giant puzzle box, slowly revealing its secrets over time.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight, on the other hand, delivers this singular, powerful story that leaves you pondering its themes long after the credits have rolled.
It stays with you.
Yeah, it lingers.
Like a question you can't quite shake off.
Exactly.
So we've got the MCU.
Okay.
The kings of interconnected storytelling.
Right.
What about Logan?
Logan, yeah.
That was also praised.
He was.
For its darker, grittier take on the superhero genre.
Absolutely.
More in line with The Dark Knight.
Yeah, there are definitely some parallels there. Logan, starring Hugh Jackman.
Right, his final performance as Wolverine.
It was powerful performance.
A film that shares some thematic DNA with The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Both films strip away the gloss.
The spectacle.
Right.
Oh.
And they focus instead on the human cost of being a hero.
What happens to these larger-than-life figures when they're stripped of their invincibility?
What are they left with when the fighting is over?
What remains?
Yeah, they both showcase the vulnerability
right.
of these iconic characters.
We see Batman, battered and bruised, physically and emotionally, struggling to maintain his moral code in the face of pure chaos.
And Logan, well, he's not exactly the immortal warrior he once was.
No.
He's aging.
Yeah.
He's hurting. He's facing his own mortality.
Right.
Both films explore those themes.
Okay.
Aging mortality and the sacrifices that one makes.
Right.
For a life dedicated to fighting for what's right.
They're not afraid to show the scars.
Both physical and psychological.
Right.
That come with being a hero.
These aren't the shiny, invincible heroes our childhood fantasies.
Right.
They're flawed.
Right.
They're weary.
Yeah.
And they're grappling with the weight of their actions.
They show us that being a hero isn't about escaping the darkness.
No.
It's about confronting it.
Head on.
And both Logan and The Dark Knight deal with the idea of legacy.
They do.
Batman grappling with what he's leaving behind for Gotham.
Yeah.
And Logan trying to protect this young mutant,
Laura,
who represents the future.
Yeah.
The hope.
That even in a dark and brutal world, something good can survive.
Yeah, it's about passing the torch.
It is.
Acknowledging that even heroes are not invincible.
Right.
And that their actions have consequences.
Yeah.
That extend beyond their own lives.
What will I leave behind?
Yeah.
What impact will my choices have on the world?
Right.
On the people I care about?
It's a powerful theme.
Very powerful.
It adds another layer of depth to these stories.
Right.
Makes them more than just simple action movies.
Yeah. It elevates the material.
Okay, so we've talked about the MCU.
Yeah.
We've talked about Logan.
Yeah.
But what about the big kahuna?
Oh, yeah.
Avengers Endgame.
The big one.
This film was a global phenomenon.
It really was.
Breaking box office records.
Yeah.
Becoming this massive cultural event.
Hard to overstate its impact.
How does The Dark Knight compare to a juggernaut like that?
Well, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable achievement in filmmaking.
For sure.
It's the culmination of over a decade of storytelling.
Right.
Bringing together this massive cast of characters.
So many characters.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And delivering an epic, emotionally charged conclusion to a saga that captivated audiences worldwide.
It's pure spectacle.
Yeah.
A symphony of action and emotion.
It really is.
Designed to sweep you away.
Yeah, pull you in
its grand narrative.
It's hard to deny the sheer scale and impact of a film like that.
Yeah. The final battle scene.
Oh my God.
In Endgame.
I know.
With every superhero imaginable.
All of them.
Teaming up to fight Thanos.
It's incredible.
It's pure cinematic adrenaline.
Yeah, it makes you want to cheer.
Yeah.
Out loud in the theater.
Yeah, you feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself.
Absolutely.
So Endgame is a celebration of heroism.
Right.
Of teamwork.
Yeah.
Of the power of hope in the face of overwhelming odds.
That's what it is.
It's a film that aims to satisfy on a massive scale.
And it succeeds.
It does.
But what's interesting is that despite Endgame's undeniable strengths,
Yeah.
The Dark Knight still holds its own.
Okay.
It may not have that same epic scale.
Right.
Or the emotional payoff of a decade-long narrative, but it compensates with its philosophical depth.
Okay.
And its unflinching exploration of moral ambiguity.
It asks the tough questions.
It does.
The ones that Endgame, with its focus on universe saving stakes,
Right.
might shy away from.
It's a different kind of film.
It is.
With different goals.
So it's like comparing a gourmet meal
Okay.
to a decadent dessert.
I like that.
Both delicious.
Yeah.
Satisfying in their own way.
Right.
But offering different kinds of experiences.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Endgame is the grand feast.
Okay.
Meant to overwhelm your senses and leave you feeling full and satisfied.
Right.
The Dark Knight is the more intimate, thought-provoking meal.
Yeah.
Designed to linger on your palate.
Right.
And make you consider the ingredients, the flavors,
Yeah.
the way they all work together to create something complex and lasting.
So to bring this back to our original question.
Okay.
Is The Dark Knight the best superhero movie ever?
Yeah.
It sounds like the answer might not be so straightforward.
I don't think it is no.
Not just a yes or no.
Right.
Okay.
Declaring one film the best is a subjective exercise.
Yeah, of course.
Influenced by personal preferences, cultural context, and a whole host of other factors.
Right.
What we can say with certainty is that The Dark Knight is a landmark film that redefined the superhero genre.
Okay.
Raising the bar for storytelling, thematic exploration, and cinematic craft.
Which pushed the boundaries of what a superhero film could be.
Right.
Show that it could be more than just escapist entertainment.
Exactly. It demands more from you.
Yeah.
As a viewer.
Right.
It asks you to engage with its themes, to grapple with its moral complexities, to leave the theater thinking about the questions it raises.
Right.
It doesn't offer easy answers.
No.
It challenges you to find your own. And that's a pretty powerful accomplishment for any film.
It is.
Superhero or otherwise.
The Dark Knight's impact on the superhero genre is profound.
It is.
It demonstrated that these films could be more than just mindless entertainment.
Right.
They could be vehicles for exploring complex ideas, engaging with social and political issues, and challenging audiences to think about the world around them.
Exactly.
So it's not just about the action, the explosions, the special effects.
Yeah.
It's about using those elements to tell a story that matters.
Right, a story that stays with you.
Okay, so we've gone deep into comparing The Dark Knight to some of the biggest names in the superhero genre.
We have.
And it seems like it still holds its own.
It does.
Even against the massive powerhouses of the MCU.
It's a powerful film.
But let's get back to that central question that we're here to explore.
Okay.
Is The Dark Knight the best superhero movie ever made?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is the question.
The question that's been simmering throughout our entire discussion. And I'm not going to give you a definitive yes or no.
Okay.
But I can offer you a perspective
Right.
that might help you come to your own conclusion.
Lay it on me.
What's the expert take?
Yeah, what's the expert take?
The Dark Knight is, without a doubt, a masterpiece.
Okay.
It goes beyond the typical superhero tropes and delivers a powerful exploration of human nature, morality, and the choices we make in the face of chaos and uncertainty.
Yeah. It sticks with you.
It does.
It prompts reflection.
Right.
It sparks debate.
Yeah.
And maybe even causes you to re-examine your own values.
It's a film that holds a mirror up to society.
Wow.
Forcing us to confront the darkness within ourselves and the world around us.
So it's more than just a superhero movie.
It is.
It's almost like a philosophical exploration. Disguised as a blockbuster action film.
And that's what makes it so compelling.
Okay.
It operates on multiple levels.
Yeah.
Offering something for everyone.
Right.
You can enjoy it as pure action spectacle, or you can delve deeper into its thematic complexities.
Okay.
It's a film that rewards multiple viewings, revealing new layers of meaning and nuance each time you watch it.
So while we might not be able to definitively say if it's the best superhero movie ever made, we can certainly say that it's one of the most impactful,
definitely,
one of the most thought-provoking,
for sure,
and one of the most enduring films in the genre.
Absolutely. And ultimately, the question of whether it's the best is less important than the impact it has on you.
Okay.
As a viewer.
Right.
Does it make you think?
Does it challenge your perspectives?
Does it stay with you long after you've seen it?
If the answer to those questions is yes,
then maybe that's all that matters.
I think we've given our listener plenty to chew on.
I think so.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, is there anything else you'd like to add?
You know, one thing I find particularly fascinating is the film's exploration of the relationship between order and chaos.
Oh, yeah?
It's a theme that runs throughout the entire film.
Right.
And it's embodied in the characters of Batman and the Joker.
Of course.
As well as in the very fabric of Gotham City itself.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Tell me more.
Yeah, tell me more.
Gotham is a city teetering on the edge.
It's riddled with corruption, crime, and a sense of unease that permeates every street corner.
It's palpable.
It really is.
Yeah.
Batman, with his strict moral code and his unwavering dedication to justice, represents the force of order, trying desperately to hold back the tide of chaos.
Right. It's like a constant tug of war.
Yeah.
Between these two opposing forces.
With the fate of Gotham hanging in the balance.
And the film doesn't offer a simple solution or a clear-cut victor.
Right. It suggests that order and chaos are perhaps two sides of the same coin.
Wow.
Inextricably linked.
Yeah.
And constantly vying for dominance.
It makes you wonder if true order can ever exist without the threat of chaos.
Yeah.
Or if chaos is just an inherent part of the human experience.
That's a profound question.
It is.
And it's one of the many things that makes The Dark Knight so compelling.
Right.
It doesn't shy away from difficult questions.
No, it embraces them. It challenges us to think critically about the world around us.
Okay.
To examine the forces that shape our societies. And to consider the delicate balance between order and chaos.
In our own lives.
Exactly.
And speaking of delicate balances, let's move on to the final part of our deep dive.
Right.
Where we'll explore The Dark Knight's lasting legacy.
Yeah.
Its influence on the superhero genre.
Right.
And its continued relevance in a world grappling with its own shadows. That delicate balance between order and chaos. It's wild how The Dark Knight weaves that idea into, well, everything.
Yeah, the characters, the setting, the whole story, really.
It's what makes it so much more. than just a superhero movie, I think. It's a reflection
Yeah.
of us,
Yeah.
the world we live in, our struggles,
Yeah.
the choices that we make.
It really is. And it's that willingness to look at these complex themes, right? The gray areas of morality, that sets it apart from so many other superhero films.
Yeah, it's not afraid to ask those tough questions.
No. Challenge how we see good and evil.
Yeah.
And leave us grappling with the consequences of our actions.
Like it's saying, hey, there's a little Batman AD, a little Joker in all of us.
Right.
That internal struggle, order versus chaos. It's always there, isn't it?
It is. It's a theme that, well, it resonates across cultures, across history.
Yeah.
You see it everywhere. Literature, philosophy. I mean, it's woven into the fabric of human society.
Right. And The Dark Knight taps into those anxieties, those universal anxieties, but it does it in a way that's
thrilling.
Yeah.
Intellectually stimulating.
It's both a popcorn flick, AD.
Yeah.
A philosophical treatise on the human condition. It's crazy. You can enjoy it on so many levels.
It's true. And every time you watch it, you see something new.
Yeah.
Something deeper.
It really is a great film.
It transcends its genre, speaks to something bigger, something more
Profound.
Yeah.
It's not just about the capes and the villains. It's about the choices that we make.
Yeah, the sacrifices we endure.
The consequences. The ripple effect,
And those consequences, they can be messy, unpredictable, even tragic. I mean, the film doesn't shy away from showing the dark side of heroism.
No, it doesn't. The toll that it takes on those who fight for justice.
Right.
Look at Batman. He's driven by this need to protect Gotham.
Of course.
But in doing so, he sacrifices his own happiness, his peace of mind.
He does.
He lives in the shadows, constantly fighting his own demons.
It makes you question, what does it even mean to be a hero?
Yeah. Is it truly selfless?
Oh.
Or is there always an element of self-destruction? Like, is there a point where the pursuit of justice, it becomes an obsession, something that consumes you, isolates you?
Those are really tough questions. And The Dark Knight, I mean, it doesn't give you the answers.
No.
But it makes you think about them.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it shows, heroism in a way that's complex, nuanced. It acknowledges the sacrifices, the struggles, the moral compromises.
The territory, yeah.
It's so much more compelling
Yeah.
than, your typical good versus evil story.
Of course.
This is about gray areas, blurred lines.
Yeah, you're not even sure who to root for sometimes.
It's true.
What the right thing to do even is.
It's real. The Dark Knight forces us to face these uncomfortable truths, that the world isn't black and white.
No, it's not. There are shades of gray.
In every situation.
Yeah.
In every character.
It's what makes it so relatable.
It's what makes it so real. It's like holding up a mirror,
Yeah.
to our own lives, our own struggles.
Our own capacity for good and evil.
It's powerful.
I mean, it's one of the most powerful things that art can do.
Right.
Make us question, make us feel.
Make us see the world differently.
Yeah. And The Dark Knight does all of that brilliantly.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the themes, the characters, but what about the impact? The impact that this film has had on the superhero genre, it's massive, right?
It is. It's undeniable. It really opened the door for more complex storytelling.
Yeah. More morally ambiguous characters.
And a willingness to explore darker themes, mature themes.
Right. Like superhero movies can be grounded, gritty.
Emotionally resonant.
Yeah. Without sacrificing the spectacle, the excitement.
Exactly.
It's like it gave permission to other filmmakers to take risks.
Yeah.
Push boundaries. Tell stories that mattered.
And we see it, we see that influence in films like Joker, Logan, even some of the later Captain America films.
It's true. I mean, those films wouldn't exist in their current form.
Right.
Without The Dark Knight, without the groundwork that Nolan laid.
Right.
His vision.
Of a darker, more realistic world.
It's amazing to think about how one film can change everything.
Yeah.
Change an entire genre, inspire a whole generation of filmmakers.
Dark Knight was a game changer.
Yeah. And its legacy continues.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, audiences now,
they
expect more from superhero films.
They do. They want depth, complexity.
Right. They're not satisfied with simple good versus evil anymore.
No. They want stories that challenge them, make them think.
Stories that stay with you.
The Dark Knight helped to usher in this new era.
Yeah. Of more sophisticated superhero storytelling.
It showed that these films could have substance.
Right.
They could be art as well as entertainment.
And that's a lesson that filmmakers are still learning from. The Dark Knight's influence. It's huge.
It really is.
It's a legacy that, well, any filmmaker would be proud of. And for us, the viewers,
yeah,
it's a gift.
It is.
We get to enjoy these films, these complex, challenging films. And they still deliver the action, the excitement.
Right. They've got it all.
They do. So to our listener, if you haven't seen The Dark Knight recently or ever, go watch it.
It's a film that deserves to be experienced, analyzed, debated.
Even if you don't agree with everything, it will stay with you.
It will.
It's a film that
invites different interpretations.
It sparks conversation, and it leaves you with more questions than answers.
And that's the beauty of it. It's not just a story. It's an experience.
A journey into the heart of darkness and the power of the human spirit.
And remember, the next time you're facing a tough choice, a moral dilemma, ask yourself, what would Batman do?
That's a great note to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into The Dark Knight. We hope you enjoyed exploring its themes, its characters, and its lasting impact. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep into the stories that matter.